Hello, this is Victor, and following the challenge sent by Nicholas, I would like to start a new series of videos called Math Hammer. So what is Math Hammer about is just try to calculate and to help the people to understand the probabilities and the odds of the different parts of the game. As we know, Warhammer, 40k and fantasy are mainly driven by these six dice, and all are based on probabilities and chances to succeed or to fail in doing attacks, wounds, or any type of action. So what I would like to share here is a way to learn without playing what are the probabilities, in the way that when you are in the battle you can predict if a match is beneficial or is not beneficial for you. So sometimes it's quite easy to calculate if I have chances or not of wounding. For example, imagine a Imperial Guardian trying to shoot a last gun to another Imperial Guardian. So normally we will have 50% chances of hitting, then we will have 50% chances of wounding, and the Guardian will have 1/3 of stopping the wound, of saving, because have a 5+ armor save. So this means that you will have first 50%, and on 50% on top of that is 25% of creating a wound for every shot, and then he will save 1/3 of them. So this means that in reality he will save about six. You will reduce the probability even 6% more, so you will have around 19 to 18% of creating a wound shooting another Guardian. This is quite easy, but sometimes the situations are much more difficult. Here I want to show you an example, and when I do these examples that are more complex, what I try to do is I simulate different match on Excel file, and then I'll calculate I did some calculations to see what are the probabilities of winning, losing, and what will happen if I have this match in the game. Let's go for example. In that example, I want to see if the Bloodthirster that used to be a vehicle killer in all the editions is still a vehicle killer in that edition. And the big change now is that Smash is only one attack. So I will put the Bloodthirster, I will simulate the Bloodthirster is charging a Dreadnought, and then I will see how many wins the Bloodthirster have, how many wins the Dreadnought have, and how many turns the battle will last. Let's watch some figures. So in that table, what we see after simulating I simulate 10 fights, and I simulate 10 fights without smashing and 10 fights smashing. What I realize is when I'm not smashing, the Bloodthirster wins 10 of 10, and when smashing, Bloodthirster win 9 on 10, and one was win by the Dreadnought. This is not a statistical representative because 10 fights is very little, and then you always have a chance that something is not on the average. So for me, in that case, 10 and 9 victories are the same. But then if we do the other figures, we see another trends. For example, if we see the average turns that the fight lasts, in the case of no smashing, it lasts 3 turns, and in the case of smashing, it lasts 4.1 turns. So this means that no smashing is faster to kill a Dreadnought. I also check what are the average wounds after the fight, and in average, I have more wounds when I'm not smashing after killing the Dreadnought. Of course, I also check what is how many kills I have in the first round of combat, and you see that you have 4 kills in turn 1 without smashing and 1 with smashing. And I check what is the longest fight of the 10 I did, and you see in one case is lasting 6 turns and in other cases are lasting 8 turns. So what is telling this to me is that no smashing is better when you fight a Dreadnought. So it's better to have one round of strength 7 and the rest of the round of strength 6 with more attacks than having just one attack of strength 10. Let's do other figures, because then we will see in more detail what's happening. So here what I simulate is how many attacks I need of different strengths to kill the Dreadnought. So I simulate a strength 7 AP 2 attacks, a strength 6 AP 2 attacks, and a strength 10 AP 2 attacks. So as you see, of course, the fastest way in number of total attacks is a strength 10 AP 2 attacks. But now, if we see the ratio between a strength 7 and a strength 10, we see that the ratio is 2.64. So what means that if you have more than 3, if you have 3 attacks at the strength 7 and 1 attack at the strength 10, it will be better to do a strength 7 attacks. So if we take into account that the Bloodthirster in the first turn will have 7 attacks of strength 7, it's much more better than just 1 attack of strength 10. And then we can compare also with the strength 6 versus the strength 10. Here in the simulation, I arrived to 26. If you do the theoretical calculation, you will arrive to 27, what meaning that the simulation is quite accurate. So what also we realize here is that the ratio in that case is 5.77, so it's almost 6. This means that it's the same doing 6 attacks of strength 6 than 1 attack of strength 10. So once you did the first round as strength 7, doesn't matter if you do 6 attacks of strength 6 or just 1 of strength 10. And then this up to you to decide what you prefer. So this is just an example of how to use the simulation in Excel file, how to create learning. So now I know that if I fight with, if I have a Dreadnought in front of my Demon's army and I engage the Bloodthirster, most likely I will win, but I will be engaged around 3 turns in the combat, and I have to calculate that during these 3 turns my Bloodthirster will only be engaged with the Dreadnought. On the other side, if I want to slow down the Bloodthirster, I can throw a Dreadnought to him. I know that I will lose the Dreadnought, but the Dreadnought is 100 points versus 200 something, almost 300 of the Bloodthirster. So I will block the Bloodthirster for 3 rounds, so means 1 or 2 turns. And when I am assaulting, I will skip the first round of strength 7 AP2 attacks. So it's not a bad match for a Dreadnought if you want to slow down the Bloodthirster to engage him with a Bloodthirster. So just an example, I would like to do more examples and more different calculations. Please, if you have any match, anything that you would like I simulate here, or you would like to know how is the matchup, send me a message and I will do the simulation for you. If not, I will continue sharing with you how I do calculations for other matchups and how how to interpret the numbers I give. So in the next one, most likely I will compare the plasma gun versus a melta gun. So thanks a lot for watching. I hope this has been useful for you, and see you again later. Bye.